Tell us about your playing and coaching experience with the volleyball team.
I'll let you go first.
I played 7th through 12th grade at Geraldine, and I played 2 years college volleyball. This is my first year coaching, so I'm excited about it.
I did not play volleyball in high school. I just played beach volleyball some and just some with friends. I started coaching volleyball in 2003 and 2004, and then I started back a few years ago with junior high and JV, and I've just kind of stuck with it with the girls. I'm learning as much as I can, and that's pretty much been my goal, is every day try to learn something new that I get to the team.
Walk with us through a typical practice plan.
Okay, the girls usually, they kind of do their warm-ups on their own. They do some stretching and some exercises just to kind of get loose and get their arms ready, and then we just begin into practice. We usually try to start out with some fun games, kind of get the girls excited and pumped up, and then we begin working on specific drills for specific things that we need to work on. And we usually close out practice with some fun drills to get them fired up before we end.
How do you motivate your players?
We try to get them pumped up, let them know that they're doing good things. We actually bought some shakers the other day so the girls on the bench can be cheering, and just letting the girls know that if they stay up, they have more of a chance of doing good things.
And yes, she mentioned the pom-poms. Yesterday we played at Outer, and the JV girls were sitting behind our bench, and the varsity girls that weren't playing at the time were shaking their shakers and cheering, and it was just exciting. It was actually more exciting than some of the football games we've had recently, because everybody was pumped up and in it, and the crowd was in it, and the girls were even saying, it was loud and crazy. And I've never been to a high school volleyball game that had that much excitement, and it was really fun, and I hope that we can continue doing that.
What are you most proud of this year so far?
I'm really proud of the girls. When we played Sylvania, we were down like 10-3, and the girls really came together, and they had their mental toughness, and we pulled through and actually won the game. So I was proud of them for that.
So far this year compared to, let's say last year or the year before, I'm most proud of the girls are covering the floor better, they're moving more, they seem to play well together as a team, and the Sylvania thing was huge. And when we played Ohatchee this past Saturday, Ohatchee was really good and had a really strong hitter, and we played them very tough in the second game, and we had, or was it the first game? Second game. And we had people in the bleachers that were not even from Collinsville cheering for us because the girls were making some awesome plays. So we know we got a lot in us, and that's what I'm proud of, is that we play with a lot of, we're scrappy. And we had a coach tell us yesterday from Ider, she's after the game, even though we lost and we were discussing things that we had done wrong, which is what you do, she come over and she said, I want to tell them something. And she said, I've never seen a team cover their floor as hard as this group of girls has. And that was a big compliment, because she's been coaching probably 30 years.
Yeah.
So that was huge to have a coach come do that. Never been in a huddle when another coach come up and brag on the team before.
Tell us about an obstacle that the girls have overcome.
I would say one of the biggest things they've had to overcome this year is the changes of coaches. Through the years, since these girls started in about junior high, they've had several coaches throughout the process, and this year they were kind of all set on one particular coach, and at the last minute she got a great job offer and returned to home. So that caused them to have another coach step in, and that would be me and her. And I really feel like they have adjusted well. I feel like they've welcomed Coach Potter in like she's always been here, and I've been very proud of that, and that we really don't have any attitude problems or anything that we have to deal with that's, some coaches have to deal with when they first start. And that's one of the biggest things I've seen. Fundamentally, she's going to explain some of the things they've had to overcome.
They've overcome a lot since the beginning of the season. One of the main things I noticed when I come in was lack of coverage. like moving on the court and being where they needed to be, following the ball, covering tips, hits, transitioning, just the little technique things that had gotten left out over the years, I guess. And they have really been working really hard to fix that, and they're doing really well.
Tell us about #OneMoment.
At the beginning of the summer practices that we started having, I tried finding some sort of motivational video that the girls could watch that, as athletes, would just get them fired up. And I searched volleyball videos, volleyball fire-up videos, things like that. And the one I chose, with me not ever playing volleyball, you know, it's different for me, but I watched the video and listening to the man speaking and what he was saying about competition and giving it all you got, and looking for that one moment where it all just clicks and you realize you are really a competitive team and that you can play, that you've got abilities. And listening to that as a former athlete, it just got me fired up. You know, and I thought, how could anybody listen to this and not just, you know, just want to go put on a uniform and play something? So I sent it out to the girls, and I could kind of tell some of them may have watched it, some didn't. So we had a practice here, and I went and plugged my phone up and played the video over the loudspeakers, whatever it's called, this surround sound or whatever in here. And so I had it playing, and I had them all sitting together, and I just let it play, and it was loud, and you know, it was, you know, kind of gets you fired up and emotional. And then we just talked about it, and I just explained to them, you know, this is the gym I played in, and I would give anything to go back to moments like that. And you got to rise to the occasion, and you got to fight for that one moment. It's just going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but you know, we're going to battle together. And that's just been something that when we're in a game, sometimes we say it in a huddle just so it gets our mind on that. We're looking for that one moment. It may be in every single game, or it may be a one moment that we're trying to get through next week. But that's just one thing that we focus on, is coming together and looking for that one moment when everything's just going to be good, and we're rising to the occasion what we need.